How to understand reality? We can understand reality using our senses, observation, experiment. This is called science. We use revelation, wahi, and that is called religion. We use direct experiences, intuition, and that is called mysticism. And we use our mind, rationality, rational approach, and that is called philosophy. So today I'll be talking about science using our senses, experiment, observation. Science is mostly about nature, about natural world, about physical world. What is nature? Which we can feel, which we can touch, which we can see by our senses. There may be social sciences, which is about society and the human interaction, and there may be formal sciences, which is mathematics and logic. Natural sciences are mostly about nature. The word science is basically from Latin scientia, which means knowledge. So any organized, systematic body of information is called science. So systematic knowledge is called science. Now, here, basically, when we talk about science, so we talk about matter. So there are two kinds of matter. One is baryonic matter, which is just 5%. The atomic matter, the matter that which we see, which emit light, that is only 5%, roughly. And then dark matter, which is 25%. And dark energy, which is roughly 70%. So this 100% is the whole universe. Now, universe is space and time plus its contents. What are the model that we understand? And that model is called lambda CDM model. Lambda is the Einstein universal constant, and CDM is cold dark matter. This is the model that we understand, by which we understand universe. Now, when we come to the atoms, so from the atoms we make stars, galaxies, clusters, superclusters, and galactic filaments. Atoms, stars, galaxies, clusters, superclusters, galactic filaments. There are like 300 sextillion stars, and there are 200 billion, from 200 billion to 2 trillion galaxies. So basically this is, the unit is atom. Even the Greeks used to say that the unit is atom, but they were calling atom like the chemically combined matter, which nowadays we call molecule. And there are like 118 atoms, and when we like the pure collection of atoms that we call element, so there are 118 elements. 94 of those elements are natural and the rest are synthetic. For example, we have nihonium, which is the only element, the only atom which is synthetically made in Japan. This is why it is called nihonium, and the name of Japan, which is very, very unstable. It is very radioactive and remains stable only for 20 seconds. And the latest element that we have, that is oganesson, which is the atomic number is 118. Now, atom is made of neutron, proton, and electrons. But neutron and protons, these are made of fermions, and then fermions and bosons. And fermions are made of quarks, which are up, down, charm, strange, top, bottom. These are then quarks, QUARKS. These are the subatomic particles. And bosons, which are the force-carrying particles, and which are like gluons, WZ bosons, photon, which is the unit of light, and Higgs boson. Then we have leptons, where we have electrons, neutrino, muon, and tau, TAU, tau. These are the subparticles. In this universe, we have four fundamental forces: electromagnetic forces, then we have gravity, strong nuclear forces, and weak nuclear forces. So there is another particle which is like more supposed to be there, graviton, which is for the gravity. And then we have fields which permeates the universe, and then there are various forces as I discussed. So this whole description, that is universe. Whatever we have in the universe, that we can describe by atoms. This atom is in a small unicellular organism in the human body and in a galaxy. All these are made of atoms, but the atoms, then we have neutron, protons, electrons, and then in these we have further subatomic particles which I took their names. Now, when we talk about the galaxy, so galaxy is a gravitationally bound system. And there can be elliptical galaxies, spiral galaxies, and irregular galaxy. For example, our galaxy called Milky Way, it is spiral galaxy. So in galaxy, then we have stars, we have stellar remnants, and then we have interstellar gas, we have interstellar dust, and then we have dark matter. These are the components of galaxy. And then there can be black holes at active centers. Like Sagittarius A is the black hole in our galaxy Milky Way. And there are so many galaxies which can be like the stars which are more than the sand particles on the surface of Earth. How we measure the unit of length in astronomy, that is light year. And 1 light year is equal to 9.5 quadrillion meters or 5.9 trillion miles. 1 light year. Light year is the unit of length, not time. And here the year is Julian year. But in astrometry, we use parsec, which is 3.6 light years. We come to the solar system. So the solar system is a gravitationally bound system. Sun is at the center, and then we have the objects which are orbiting the sun dorically. So these are 8 planets, and then small solar system bodies like asteroids and comets, and then we have indirect orbiting objects, which can be like different indirectly also. They are orbiting the sun. Planets, as I said, there are 8 planets. There can be exoplanets which are outside of our solar system, and we have like the planets are orbiting a star or a stellar remnant, and a planet is rounded by its own gravity, but it doesn't have that much mass which is enough to cause thermonuclear fusion, and it has cleared its like the planetary remnants, which is clear. There is no those planetesimals, the small planet material. Planets are terrestrials, called terrestrial planets, which are made of rocks, and these are like Mars, Earth, Venus, Mercury, and then there are giant planets, maybe made of gas, hydrogen and helium mainly, and these are Jupiter and Saturn, and ice giants, which are uranium and Neptune. So these ice are made of water and ammonia in the ice form. Sun, which is the center of the solar system, that is sphere of the hot plasma, and Sun is 99.86% of the solar system. 73% of the Sun is hydrogen and 25% is helium. And then we have photosphere in the Sun, which is the visible surface of Sun. And then we come to our own Earth. Earth is the densest planet, and because of its rotation we have seasons, and because of its revolution we have day and night, and because of its gravitation with the moon, then we have tides. So these are like different, and then we have astronomical units. Like for the time we use day, which is 8,6400 seconds, 1 day. And then we have, for the mass, we use solar mass, which is for the how to measure the mass in the astronomy, that is called the mass unit, the solar mass unit. So basically, this is how to understand the universe. When we understand the universe from galaxy, and then we come to the stars, and then to our own Earth. So on the Earth, then we have life. So for the life, we have physiology, that, for example, in morphology, anatomy, and then the unit of life, that is cell. Then we have the cell, the structure of cell. In the cell also we have nucleus, and then we have around the sun, around the cell, then we have different bodies. We should understand this, like mitochondria and ribosomes, and then we have DNA and RNA, and then chromosomes. So we should take and trust how to understand the universe around us, as well as our own body. And then we have the animal kingdom, and then our own environment. In our own environment, the most important thing, that is climate, the climate change, and the pollution, the contamination, the greenhouse effect, and the ozone layer. And then when we understand the universe, we understand the human body, the different systems in the human body, the organs, for example, stomach, intestines, our kidneys, how these perform. So we must have this curiosity, that how can we understand the universe, the earth, the human being, and our environment. And then we should have a little reasoning, mathematics, logic, basic arithmetic, calculations. So for a complete human being, the concept of general science, that is very, very important. For example, how the solar energy can be the alternative source of energy for us. For example, we have the fossils. So we can also have other sources like biodiesel, that by burning plants we can create energy, which is more environment friendly, and which is instead of like burning the fossils in petrol or diesel, we can also get ethanol that is from the biodegradation, which is the digestion, which is anaerobic digestion, the digestion without oxygen, like fermentation. So by fermentation, we can get that source of energy. In many countries like Brazil, and even in Canada and other countries, you can find ethanol, which is not made from fossils like petrol or diesel, but that is made by fermentation, by anaerobic digestion, by bacteria of plants. And then from those plants we get methane and other gases, and which are the sources of energy. So alternative sources of energy, this is very important. But what we have, the classic, the fossils sources of energy, we should understand the sustainable approach. We should not use this energy that it becomes, the vicious cycle of so much pollution, which will get problems for us. So today, my request is that this is an introductory lecture on science, that if we want to understand the reality, so we can apply science. And science is one of the way to understand the universe, to understand our own selves, how our body functions, and then food, which is very much important. Food is also important part of the general science, and then different kinds of food and diet, carbohydrates and proteins, and these biomolecules, fatty acids, and what kind of food, and then the concept of balanced diet. And then we have technology like semiconductors, okay, LED, like which is a very, very important technology, how we can save our energy. So different like ceramics, how the pottery, which was previously called pottery, now it is ceramics, which are useful utensils for human beings. So today it was just a glance on the general science paper, of CSS, and as well as I try to make it attractive for other people who are not going to take part in exams, but still they try to understand the universe, our own bodies, our own environment, the food that we take, and we should also have some general concept of logic and reasoning and mathematics. So this was an introductory lecture on everyday science, general science. So please keep asking questions how to further understand the universe, which this earth is also a part, and our solar system, and then our Milky Way, and then we go to the clusters and superclusters, and this whole understanding, and this dark matter and dark energy, which is also very much interesting topics. Thank you very much.